How to not fuck up any B2B2C organization with your CMS. Do you know if your customers are happy? Please raise a hand. 3 people only. 4. Those 4 people, can you already prove that with data if your customers are happy? 1 out of 4. Do you think that code.talks knows if we have been happy yesterday evening? You think yes? Have they asked us? Any kind of customer satisfaction measurement value, whatever?
Smiles on the faces.
Smiles on the faces. But we want to show you today how we achieved having happy customers while increasing our business KPIs. But who's we? I'm Tobias. I'm Senior Product Manager at Metro Digital, the international wholesale food company placed in Europe and Asia. So we have the blue boxes all over. That is not IKEA, but where you can get a lot of food. And next to me, there's also Rehan.
Thank you very much. Yes, I am Rehan, lead product manager at Breuninger, a luxury fashion store. You might have heard about it. If not, you will get to know in today's talk. I also come from Düsseldorf, like Tobias, have very good experience in the sense that I've worked in Metro Digital as well, and now I'm in Breuninger. So today we are going to share how things are different in Breuninger and Metro and how still they are same. And let's step into it. So today we are going to share with you in 3 simple steps how we achieved seamless user journey, how personalization is a cherry on top, and the challenges which we faced and the learnings we had. And in this journey, what are the successes which we had? And if we talk about journey, Lao Tzu once said, the journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. How do you achieve a happy customer? How do you make sure that your customers have a great experience? If we take an example of shopping or a restaurant, a customer wants that all the products that the customer needs are available. The sizes or the colors of the clothes, for instance, are easily findable. Or if we talk about online shop, the products are delivered on time. And behind this whole needs, what is there? What is there is seamless user journey. And today we are going to talk about how we in Breuninger and also in Metro Digital reached and implemented this seamless user journey. But as we have been talking about Breuninger and Metro Digital, let me give you a small overview of how they are different. Breuninger is a B2C firm focused on luxury and fashion store. Currently in 14 different cities of Germany, it is available. And soon, hopefully in 3 to 6 months, we'll be here in your lovely city of Hamburg, opening a new store. We are there since 1881. And we right now deliver in different countries of Europe, about around 10 countries. We do the delivery with 6,500 employees and a turnover of 1.3 billion last year. On the other hand, completely different, Metro Digital, or Metro is a wholesaler, biggest wholesaler in Europe and in Asia, with a B2B focused. We have 150,000 employees, and the last year revenue was $30 billion. So you see already a difference of B2C and B2B. And if we talk about B2C and B2B, for some of you who don't know, let's jump in a little bit into that as well. In B2B, you have many decision makers, meaning your relationship is not with one person or one customer. Rather, your relationship is with restaurant or with a cafe. And there you have different decision makers in a sense. There is a restaurant owner. There is also someone who is a chef or a sous chef. So they all can go to Metro and make their own decision what to buy. On the other hand, on the B2C side, you have direct connection with your customers. The customers are directly connecting with you and buying your products. You have more time to invest to create relationships in B2B, while in B2C, it's more about brand awareness. I would not go too deep into it, but just to start with, because the discussion is going to be very much focused on B2B and B2C, so you have a good understanding of what it is. This is me. No, it's not me. I'm not blonde. But this is me standing in New York and Times Square last year. I was there. And I was just standing like this. And in one word, if I have to say, I was overwhelmed. Overwhelmed because there were so many options. There were so many things. And I was lost. And that's where what I needed as a customer, that I have somehow a journey planned. Someone can direct me where I need to go, how this journey is personalized. And that is the business challenge in both B2C and B2B world. The customers are there, but they are lost. They have so many options. They can go to Zalando. They can go to Breuninger. They can go to Metro. They can buy everywhere. But how do you make their journey easy, seamless, and also personalized in a way that they go to the place where their goals are achieved easily? And that's the business challenge which we took. And today we're going to talk about mainly, as Breuninger and also in Metro Digital, we have store business, brick and mortar. But today's focus would be the website. How on the websites we implemented this seamless user journey. But as I said, I have 10 years of product management experience. And so with me is also senior product manager. And we work in a product organization. So we're going to talk about and structure our talk based on these three topics of product management. Product management is built on three pillars: business, tech, and UX. This is Lisa. She's happy. She seems happy, right? And exactly what you mentioned, they could see from the smile that you were happy. But how do you really measure that? As a business, you cannot just look at the smiles, everyone smiling, and you say they're happy. She could be happy. She got a call from her son, from her baby, or from a fiance or someone. And that's where the business KPIs are important. That's where we defined what are the business KPIs we want to improve and measure to see if our customers are happy. And in this sense, in Breuninger, we defined 3 KPIs that we want to improve in the last year. And they were revenue, number of customers, and average order value. And I'm happy to share that we increased the revenue by 12%. Customers have increased by 11%, and average order value have increased by 6%. So this is some success stories. And I'm sharing the business KPIs which we have achieved. There are also some failures as well, and we'll talk about them. So now I talked about the business side, but customers. In this image, you see the customers there. What are their needs? What do they need? They need a good customer service. They need the products that they want available easily and an experience to remember. And that's where we talked with our customers. Hey guys, we talked about business, KPIs. KPIs are defined, but what are your customers' needs? And we defined them. And once the customer needs were defined, we created or came up with a solution. And the solution was Zebras. Zebras, how? Not really. Zebras, in a sense, we decided that we will implement standardization and reusability. Why standardization? Metro is in 22 different countries. Breuninger, as I said, 14 different stores, 10 different countries we are delivering. It's just not possible to have a solution for each country separately. You are just not going to be able to scale it. I give an example always of McDonald's or KFC. You go to US to McDonald's, you go to Europe or in Japan, there is a standard menu there. You would not see that in Europe. You're going to get McDonald's a doner, though everyone loves doner. No, they are not going to do it because they have to standardize, and only based on standardization, they can scale. And that's what we put a focus that we have 12 or 22 different countries or 10 different markets, but we will do standardization with a flexibility where we can have local adaptations as well. And on top of that, we also focused on reusability. Reusability, in a sense, we talk about bigger organizations, you have different verticals. You have a web vertical where you create the website, the user journey goes to shop, and then the ordering of the products. And there we noticed that every vertical was building their own global components, meaning header was recreated in shop and then recreated in order. And even they were putting effort. That's already too bad that you are putting resources there. The headers were looking different, because if there is someone else building it, it will build on their own. So these are the two things which we decided we are going to implement: standardization and reusability that will create the seamless user experience. But as in this image, needle and a thread is a solution to sew clothes. We needed a solution as well. We have defined a concept, but how do we implement that? And we decided that we will implement it with our CMS. We are in Metro using Sitecore content management system, while in Breuninger, we are already in Appliance, and I have my good colleagues directly from the product team as well. So if you have questions afterwards, they are here to answer those. So what we did was and that is headless CMS implies. And in Metro, we are also thinking to go towards headless CMS. And that gives you the possibility to implement standardization. And on top of that, we implemented web modules. Web modules is being implemented by one team and is being shared with the other teams. And that's how we implemented standardization and reusability. But that's all good. Seamless user journey implemented. Customer is kind of happy that I can get into the website and I will go through the website, the ordering process, and yeah, fine, everything fine. But there is still something missing. Still, customer has to find out of a lot of options something for him or herself. And that's where the personalization comes as a cherry on top. And no one else better than talk about personalization is Toby.
This is Mark. Mark is the chef at your most favorite fish restaurant, steak restaurant, tapas place, whatever. But why is Mark the owner of our most favorite place? Because the fish is fresh? Hopefully he is. Otherwise, we would have today a problem, because yesterday there was a lot of fish at the dinner. Maybe he has a very good variety of different beers. Could be the case. But what is special about Mark is Mark knows us. If we enter the restaurant and Mark has new beers from tap, he knows what beers we would like to taste, because he knows our taste. He knows how we like to have our veggies. He creates a personalized experience, and we as customers, we demand it. How to measure personalization, how to measure the benefits of somehow emotional topic. We measure that with 3 different values. The first one is the expectation. The engagement is the second one, and third one is then also the sales increase. Overall, 9 out of 10 users in the Metro world are really expecting a personalized experience. Imagine you're having a steak restaurant, you're visiting the shop system, and then you're only seeing vegetables, or the other way around. You have a vegan cuisine, and you're getting some fancy meat options. That would not suit the customer. Therefore, offers have to be personalized exactly to the customer. If that is the case, that not only the products, but the complete page, the content, all the different things are personalized, we could measure an increased engagement of the different click-through rates, the different bounce rates we have on the templates of 13%, and that drove a sales increase of 8%. But what is really personalization? What is that all about? What kind of personalization you can have? There are many different options where you can start in your company. First one is the focus on the different channels. Are you responsible for emails, for the website, for digital marketing overall, for maybe the e-commerce system? Is the focus then on B2B or B2C? Are you only responsible for the mobile app? There are different channels where you can start. Do you do that implicitly or explicitly? Where do you get your personalization data from? Are the users logging in, or do you only have the behavior, the clicks, and can measure that? Of course, GDPR has to be respected, so if users accept the cookies, you can measure that. Also, there are nowadays cookieless variants for that. Do you focus on the content? Can you do that? Is the content coming from your company? Or are you working with third-party providers that are doing the content? Or like in Metro, we are not doing the content by ourselves. That is done by the countries. Therefore, what can you do there? And then, of course, the user journeys. Are you doing just personalization because someone told you on stage, hey, that's important, they had an increase in Metro, and that has to be true? Or do you really have the identified user journeys through a landscape where you can put the focus on? How to start if you have identified your area of expertise, where you can start? There are also 3 different aspects how you can start. First aspect is you have the data. The holy grail for personalization is, of course, a user logs in. How many of you are going to the Amazon website and directly hit the login button on the top right? Why? That's not the common user journey normally. Normally, you do not go on any web shop and directly log in. Otherwise, maybe you had a purpose to directly log in. Okay, Amazon is an exception for you. But normally, the common user journey is you're going onto a web shop, if we just take the web shop example, and you use the search bar to search for any products. But how to recommend then products if we do not know the users? Very tough. Therefore, somehow try the user to get the login is the best way. But if you do not have that, you can use triggers and actions. You know maybe where the mouse is moving, where the mouse is not moving, what button has been clicked. Maybe you have campaigns on your website, which campaigns already have been interacted. There are many clicks and triggers by the customer. And last one, it's really the behavior. Next to the different clicks on the campaigns, it's really how is the user moving through your websites. We at Metro doing machine learning based on that. So for anonymous users, we are just looking at the different websites. And if we think, oh, that pattern is maybe matching to an hotel owner, we are doing personalization for anonymous users. And that is really accurate if you have a lot of traffic for that machine learning algorithms. Sometimes it's possible, sometimes you have too less traffic, but could be also an option. Why you need that? We already had that in the beginning. 9 out of 10 users in our case want to have that. Based on some studies from Salesforce and other big American firms, 88%, I guess, is the current base value that users really expect a personalized experience. How many of you have an Android smartphone right now? How many of you have not personalized your smartphone? One guy out of maybe 50%. So we are used to personalize things that we are using day by day or every week to make it more convenient. Because this personalization is really driving the conversion. We know where to find our most favorite apps or where to find our products, or we just trust the product search on the website. That is driving conversion, also the loyalty of the customer. Because if we have the feeling that the shop is really giving us something like good recommendations without trying just to sell, there's some kind of loyalty, we trust those companies, and we are more eager to be their loyal customers. So personalization there is the key, and customers expect it. But where to start? If you now have your maybe digital channel like the website or the app, you know now how to get the data or just the clicks and triggers. You have already a few points, but where should you now put the focus? Maybe customer segmentation is the first big use case. In Metro, we have 3 different groups: the hotel, restaurant, caterers, or the office suppliers, and the traders like small kiosks. That are the 3 biggest target groups in our company. But what are your target groups? Maybe you start with B2B and B2C, maybe different company sizes where you sell your goods or your software, maybe the order volume done in a web shop platform. What could be your segmentation? Try to think about that. What is your first focus group? If you have that, Try to do an A/B test. A/B testing is very crucial when it comes to product development and product management. Just trying out new variants because you have maybe a good hypothesis to do it. Maybe convince your stakeholders, build trust in those A/B tests because they are really beneficial there. And also personalization is then beneficial. And customers really need those kind of personalization. There are 3 needs in general from the customer, next to all the trust and their desire to have it. The first need, like on Amazon, is a transactional need. Customers visiting your platform to buy stuff. Then if you imagine the German website for recipes, it's nowadays most of the time Chef Koch. So people are going there for inspirational aspects. Or if they do not do the inspirational aspects like the recipe of the week, it's an informational aspect. They want to know how to do a good pancake because I always lose the different ratio, how much milk, how much egg. Therefore, every time I have to look it up again. So transactional, inspirational, informational. For all those different desires, you need data to really see what are my customers doing, what is their desire, how to maybe nudge a different user journey this time that maybe anonymous users see, oh, the login is very beneficial for me. You try to hook the user there. And for us, tech was the solution. We had then all the different ingredients, like here on the plate, to really build that fancy burger. If you combine everything, you maybe already have your smallest user story personalized in mind by the end of next week. You can do the first A/B testing, maybe by end of this month, and the first reliable results already in 4 weeks. Sounds very easy, but unfortunately, there are some challenges.
Yes. There are challenges. Life is not a straight line, right? There are ups and downs, and just like that, we are humans, not gods. We make mistakes. And while implementing this standardization and reusability and as well the personalization, we had challenges. And one of the challenge which I'd like to share with you was the organizational challenge. Organizational challenge means huge organization, again, different focuses. How do we make sure that whole organization is focused to implement personalization, to improve the standardization or reusability? And that is the challenge which we faced. And how did we solve it? With OKRs. How many of you know OKRs or are using OKRs? 50%, I would say. That's a little surprise for me. Somehow, I live in my own bubble where I thought that everyone is using OKRs. But then it would be a very interesting talk for you who are using, but also not using. So today, I'm going to share how defining the clear objectives and implementing OKRs helped us to create that focus and reached our results. Some of you might have heard about Simon Sinek. He has this very nice, very famous, the golden circle. What he says is the difference between successful organization and an unsuccessful organization is that the successful organizations are good in knowing what, how, but also why they are doing it. But unsuccessful organizations are good at what and how, but they are missing why. And what OKR helps us is to give this answer. Why are we doing it? What is our goal? It helps you to create focus. As I said, if whole organization is working on different topics, you are not going to reach your goals. It creates and helps you to create focus and also align on those goals. And we have studies now to really show you that the companies who are using OKRs are creating culture and business impact. They have improved their KPIs. And they have shown the developers or the managers and everyone who is working in those organizations have the answer of why we are doing it. They are more motivated, and they then get the results. They could be, I can talk 30 minutes or 40 minutes on OKR, but to make it crisp, the most important thing in OKR is to know the difference between output and outcome. I have seen in 6 years of my work in Metro Digital, I have seen also 3 months by Breuninger, that how much difficult it is to implement OKRs. Yes, you can know OKRs, but it takes time to implement OKRs. And the main difference is output versus outcome. You start with OKRs, you say, yeah, I have an objective, I will create key result, everything is good. But you are creating an output key result. I have seen key results like, yes, we will implement a login functionality. That's the key result. That's an output key result. That's not what you want, and that's not what OKR tells you. That is not giving you the answer why you are implementing it. Rather focus on outcome-based OKR. Let's take the same key result. I want to implement login functionality. The outcome will be, I want to improve the customer rate of login from 3% to 6%. You know that as a product organization, right now my login rate is 3%, and I want to improve in next 3 to 6 months to 6%. And that is outcome you are creating. You are not talking about what you're going to build. That is the responsibility of the product organization, the product team. You as from the business side, tell that is my goal, talk with me on outcome. It's easy to say that, yes, let's do it, but still, it's not implementing. Everyone has read the theory. I have given many talks about that, but still, it's not happening. Why is it not happening? In my understanding, the managers do not trust the teams, the people there. And what happens if they don't trust? They talk about outputs. And in the end, when they talk about outputs, the teams are communicating outputs. They are not communicating outcomes. And the circle goes on and on and on. And what we need to do is create trust and then talk about outcome. And the trust needs to be built by both managers and the teams. Team needs to learn how to communicate based on outcome towards the managers, and managers need to give the feedback how to talk about outcomes. So these are the two things which we improved from the organizational perspective, where we talked about outcome and we created trust. But there are some more other things as well that will be shared by Tobias.
Over the last 25 minutes, we have touched many different topics, how to not fuck up your organization, how to do seamless user journeys by the sake of standardization, how to use reusability, how to put personalization on top, how to create focus with OKRs. But what are the most important points, 4 in total, that you should keep in mind after our talk? First one is know your data. You cannot be a so-called data-driven organization and really improve by facts if you do not have the data. And that is not only measuring 1 week or 2 weeks of data. Sometimes you want to do year-to-year comparison because you have seasonal aspects like Black Friday, you have the Easter season, you have the Christmas business. Therefore, very often year-to-year comparisons are very beneficial, especially if we have a global pandemic in between. Then it's even more important to have that holistic data set. Second part, increase your focus. OKR is only one tool to create focus. There are also other organizational methodologies, how to create focus for complete company and how to make the alignment then much more easy between the different product teams. If the complete solution where you're working for has a complete OKR set or some aligned goal, or the sliced verticals, however you are aligned in your company, it's easier to remove dependencies because everyone is working for the greater good. Even if you are not a techie anymore, like we are not for several years, it's very healthy to know the limitations of the tech and what can be done nowadays. On this conference, there are many talks about AI, and I will do a discovery on that for generative AI in the world of wholesale in 2 weeks, and also want to know what can we do there? How good is AI really in the context of a German restaurant owner? Because they are very special when it comes to the online usage. Therefore, know your tech is always good. And number 4, personalization with meaning. Do not only have your little zebras all around, put them in color in different stripes, different shapes, different, maybe a carol instead of stripes, but focus on specific use cases. The use cases with the highest business impact. Start with those and start small, really creating the business case on that. And that is our call to action to get your customers even better and to measure the data for the success of the company. If you have any more questions, we will be here also on the conference, but you can also drop us any message on LinkedIn. We are very happy to help and also to share more about our user journey so far.